Aqua here, welcome to episode 43 of my beginner's guide for Feed the Beast. As you can see, the hydrogen tank's getting pretty full. I have to decide soonish what to do with that. That's just a bug, by the way. When you look up at you look away from the actual tank, it looks empty, but it's, if you look directly at it, you can see what's in it. So that's got 600 buckets worth of hydrogen in there. At some point, I have to decide what to do with that, whether I start scrapping it once I've filled it up or make the tank bigger or what have you. But not to worry about that just at the minute. Right, this episode, I've got a couple of little things I want to do. First of all, I should show you the room up here that I've made significant changes to. This episode's going to be a bit late. I apologise for yesterday's episode being a bit late as well. It took about 5 hours to upload, possibly more. It's 248 minutes when I first started. I gave up watching. It seemed to be going really slow uploading, so it didn't get uploaded until quite late last night. I've changed this room around quite a lot, as you can probably tell just by looking. It's the messiest room I've ever made, but I kind of like it. It's everything's really crammed in. I also blew a few things up by forgetting to put a transformer upgrade in the macerator when I connected it up here. Schoolboy area. What I've done is I've got 2 macerators, 2 compressors, 2 extractors, and 2 induction furnaces along there. I've started doing all the non-essential stuff in it, just keep it all furnace and up to date. And then I've got 2 electrolyzers, which the furnaces and the electrolyzers are medium voltage. So you can see there's a MV transformer behind there. You can't hardly see it, but it's behind there somewhere. You can probably just see it through. There it is. MV transformer there. So these are all medium voltage, and then there's a low voltage transformer there. I've got 2 centrifuges, a plate bender, my canning machine I need to show you about. That really slow ass assembly machine dashed off to the back there, and through the floor I've got a couple of these auto crafting tables, turning the tiny dusts into normal sized dusts. And I've got 2 because, as you can see now, I've got more than 8 types of dust to process. So let's say if I had 9 in there, something gets stuck in there, and it just keeps looping around if something gets stuck in there. So 8 is what the export bus has in slots, and 8's all you want to put into one of these anyway. So that's sorting all them dusts out. As I get more dusts, I can add more to there. At some point I'll probably be getting dust from bees as well. Well, I'm getting platinum already, but I'll probably get more dust from bees, like possibly emerald or diamond or what have you. I've left this space here. I'm going to put the matter fabricator down here once we sort that out. What I'll show you with this is automatic canning machine. I've put empty cells and quicksilver in there, and then I set this to put in empty cells and quicksilver. They're making mercury cells, and on the ME import bus there, I've got that set to active without signal, and I've got one of them level limiters there. As long as there's 1 mercury cell in the ME network, then it won't actually let any more come out of here. So what that's doing is it's keeping an amount. It's keeping at least 1 in the network. It's actually more because I messed up what I was saying. I put it in bed miles more than I need. But what I can do now is they get automatically fed into this from that export bus into here. So now we can add ferrous ore to there. I added sheldonite to there, and I've got a bit of sheldonite through there. But you can add ferrous ore into there, and that'll process with the mercury. So it's going to use up quite a lot themselves, because we've got a few hundred ferrous ore up to now. And that's going to get us a lot more platinum dust by using that ferrous ore up. So that's what that was about. I just wanted to show you that. As you can see, we've got about 200 ferrous ore there. Most things are getting processed. I've had to up this chest to 64k storage. The 16k wasn't cutting it anymore, so I've upped that. And what else have I done? Got a little bit of iridium in there, as you can see. And that's about it. And it's processing things as we go. The galena dust, by the way, I said about putting it through the electrolyzer. I'm not actually bothering doing that. That gets you 3 tiny piles of silver, 3 tiny piles of lead, and a bit of sulfur. Well, I ain't using sulfur, so I'm using that method instead. That's going to the blast furnace, and that's getting me 1 silver ingot, 1 lead ingot. So each one of them galena dusts, well, 2 of them galena dusts gets me that. So I'm actually getting 1 more tiny dust, 1 more tiny silver, 1 more tiny lead by blast furnace. I'm not really gaining anything. I'm swapping them tiny sulfur dust for a tiny lead and a tiny silver. So I'm getting more lead and silver out of that, which isn't bad at all. Another thing I want to show you is something I've not mentioned yet. These things here, these are from chests and stuff that I've looted. There's a couple of ingots in there that don't stack with our other ingots. That's a different type of tin. You see that tin there? That tin there? I've lost my oh, is it because I've got that turned off? There we go. Because I've got any eye turned off. There we go. That tin ingot's 52674, and that tin 30247. So you see, it's different numbers. So what we can do, we can make something to deal with that. It's called a, what's it called? Oh god damn it! It uses a plinth. There's its plinth, mystical plinth. So I'll make that first. Cyan wool, gold ingots, obsidian, and it's called a forged lexicon. That's it. I knew I'd remember after a while. Forged lexicon. So we need 2 cyan wool, a bit of gold, a book, an iron ingot. Let's I should have a bit of cyan wool in here. I think I've got one. I need to get another one. But that's okay because we've got a cyan sheep that's been doing nothing for a good few weeks now. Just going to sleep so I don't have to deal with creepers when I go see the sheep. Now I had a cyan sheep because I used cyan wool making the omni wrench. So I dyed one of the sheep cyan a long time ago, so I've had a cyan sheep for a while. There we go, we've got 2 of them now. So if I remember this correctly, we need, for the plinth, come on, where are you? 3 obsidian, and 2 gold. Was that correct? And then that was correct for the plinth, excellent. And then the forged lexicon itself, iron, gold, and a book. Gold. And let's go downstairs. We've got a relay full of books through here still. The base is getting very messy. Very full up and very messy. You can see they're starting to go down as that's getting fuller and fuller in there. There we go, a forged lexicon. Now the reason why it's got a plinth is because if you actually shift click this in your hand, you can actually, it's a portable thing you can run around with. And what this does is you put any type of ingot in one part and you can change it for another type. So if you look there, we can go through the different types of copper ingot. There's quite a few types of copper ingot. And we'll find the right one that we need. And we can change these looted ingots. It's not a big deal, but we could have just left them in the storage there, but we might as well change them. We might as well put that there as well. So what the plinth does, the plinth just lets you put the thing down so it's a stationary item instead of having to walk around with it. So if I get it in my hand and right click on there, get a nice explosion. And now we can click on there, we can see what our normal copper is. It's 52675. So put that there, select the right one. There we go, 52675, and we press that button there, and it's changed them ingots into them. So I think they had a similar number. Let's go backwards. There we go. That was 4. And then steel. I think there's only 2 types of steel. So we'll change them. And now, oops, throw them on the floor for no reason. And now they'll stack with our other ingots. So we ain't got messy ingots in there. They're bricks, so we can ignore them. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. That's quite a simple thing to make, and it just lets you change one ingot into another type. Right, I'm going to now start looking at this thing, the matter fabricator. I'm going to break it because we don't need it there. We have got issues with this. We're going to have to create some kind of amplifier for it, which I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But first of all, I want to just basically get it wired up. I want to actually get it connected to the system so we can get it powered up, and I'm going to grab a stack of ender pearls. Right, this thing uses a hell of a lot of power. We've got nowhere near enough power to run it as I'd like. And if I remember correctly, stuff goes in from the top or bottom, and things come out from any side, so it should be fine just putting it there. Let's put it there, and this can take 8,192 EU a tick. So there's no threat of this exploding. Now that's not going to work because it needs an amplifier in here, and there's various amplifiers. What it's doing there is filling its internal buffer, its internal storage up. You see, it's not actually making any progress. So it'll fill its power up, but it won't make any progress. Let's just get rid of that. It won't make any progress. Actually, let's get that back, and let's have a quick look at matter fabricator. Matter fabricator. There we go. Okay, let's look at that. We can. What we need to look at here is I want the recipes. This is showing us them all. That's okay. That's good. So there's 12 pages. Now, for UU matter. Now this is for the mass fabricator. This is if you haven't got a GregTech installed. It shows it the same if you have got GregTech installed, but you can ignore some of this. For a start, with GregTech installed, you cannot do it without an amplifier. The amplifier is what goes in the bottom slot here. You see that's 34 pieces of scrap. There's enough to there's enough of an amplifier to get one UU matter. So in normal, without GregTech, 1 million EU would get you a UU matter. In normal, without GregTech, 166,667 EU with an amplifier would get you a UU matter. With GregTech, you have to have an amplifier, and these are multiplied by 100. So that one you can ignore because that's not an option. This one is 16.6 million rather than 166,000. So it's it needs 16 million EU to make one UU matter. So we've got 10, 20, 30. If these was all full, which I don't think they are. No, look. If these was all full, we'd have enough power to see how it's pulling loads out of them. That's because this is filling up. It's filled up now. If these were all full, 40 million, we would only have enough for 2 UU matter before we drained it all. So we don't want to run this all the time anyway. What we can do is, let's have a look at them amplifiers again. If we go through these, you see different amplifiers. You need less items. So the cheap ones, for example, scrap, you need 34 scrap to get one UU matter. They don't make a difference on the power. It's always the same power use. But like a scrap box, which is 9 bits of scrap, you only need 4 of them. 9, 18, 27, 36. It's a little bit more expensive than actually using scrap, only very slightly. Nicolite, 34 Nicolite, so Nicolite's cheap. Redstone's cheap. Glowstone, 7 of them. Ender pearl dust. Oh, it's right. It's actually ender pearl dust I need here, not ender pearls. So this is not an amplifier. This is actual ender pearls. What I have to do is transfer that into dust if I want to use that. And then uranium dust. When it takes one of them, it's pretty cool. Platinum dust, osmium dust. Never seen that before. Ruby dust. Sapphire dust, all kind of stuff. Green sapphire dust. So we could use all that green sapphire we've been saving up actually. And then diamond dust, olivine dust, thorium, plutonium, loads of stuff, and forcisium is cheap as well. So if you're not going to plan on making any modular force fields, you can use all that forcisium. I've got a lot of forcisium already. If you look down here, forcisium is now actually I've stored it into one of the. We've got 6,000 forcisium. That'd go pretty quick still though. But let's put them ender pearls back. I'm going to use a bit of that for now because I'm probably not going to play this world long enough to actually get to the point where. Oops. I'm not going to play this world long enough to get to the point where I make a force field system. I'm saying that, son of a bitch. Saying that, I think if I press shift, this doesn't move. Possibly. Yeah, it does. I'm talking shit. That's quite irritating. And why don't I just stop dicking about and do that? There we go. 1, 2, 9 stacks of that. Let's get 9 stacks of that. Even if I was going to make a force field system, I've probably got enough of this forcisium to actually maintain a good force field system and use it, some of it for scrap. But for now, I'm going to use some of it for scrap, just to show you what the crack is. And I'm going to want to get a lever because I don't want it to turn on all the time. As I said, it's going to drain my power really quick, and I don't want it to drain on my power because I'd rather keep some of it for processing. So what we can do is we can go up these awkward stairs again, and I'm going to put a lever on the front of it here. What that'll do, that turns actual, it still fills the bottom up like that, but it doesn't actually use any of the amplifier. You see there, that's going down pretty quick. This is going up pretty quick because it was using that buffer there, but now it's going to go really slow as it uses power, really slow. So that's quite slow. This is only getting 512 EU a tick in because that's the maximum you can put in from this. Or is it going to put more because it's got is it putting it in packets? It's maybe putting it in packets because this can take a lot more. This can actually take 8,000 EU a tick. This matter fabricator. Sorry, I scratched my arm there. If I didn't make a noise, so that's gone up to 12. This is going to drain pretty quick though, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on it. A good way of keeping an eye on this is making an industrial information panel, which I think I'm going to make now. I'm going to get the bits ready for that off camera, and when I come back I'll show you what we can do with that, and that'll let us know how our power's going. So I should be back in a little while when I've got a couple of things ready, and we'll see how things are going. Okay, I'm back, and I needed some cactus green for making this next thing I'm going to make, but growing cactus was a bit slow, so I just changed this around a little bit. I thought I'd show you. I've made a similar system to what we're using for the melons here, and I've actually doubled it up. It's doing reeds and it's doing cactus. Every 10 seconds, block breakers will break the blocks. The timer there set to 10 seconds. One redstone tube. Couple of block breakers. Now cactus needs a gap around it to grow, so if I was to put a block, I haven't actually got any blocks in my inventory. Just pinch a block of that for a second. If I was to put a block next to any of this, just put one there, that would fall off. If I was to put one on the tier above, then it wouldn't go in the block breaker. If this level had any blocks around it, every time it grew, it would just pop off and won't go in the block breaker. So you need to have a little gap like that, and that's just getting us some cactus and some cactus and reeds into the chest there. Not a big rush for them, but I thought I'd get some in while I was doing it. Right, anyway, that's that. Back to the other place, and I'll carry on making these information panels. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 4. First thing we need to do is cook that cactus up, because we need cactus green. It's not actually cactus green we need though, it's lime dye. So 4, we need 8 there, and then we need, there's these things called extenders, we need some there as well, so let's see how many we get. Come on, I think I had 15 there and there's already a couple in here. But 16 will do. Let's get 16, combine that with bone meal, gets 32 lime dyes, plenty of lime dyes there. So dyes are useful for plenty of things. Should be able to change these to aluminium stone, but the aluminium stone isn't working correctly for me. We also need some electronic circuits, 4 of them. Should have made this first, my apologies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need some ink, 8 ink, and what else was there? Some wood, and oh, there's no wood. I was talking crap. Some redstone. Let's get half a stack of redstone. So 8 of them, some of them, some of them, and we should have the circuits cooked. There they are, 4 of them. That's going to get us 4 of these industrial information panels. I'm making 4 because I want to do a couple of things with them. You don't actually need 4. We could have just made 1. And then next thing along, I was just looking at Zycraft there because I was looking at the Zycraft soil that I put underneath the. Oh, then by the way, to make them grow quicker, I should have mentioned it while I was there. To make them grow quicker, they've got Zycraft soil right down to bedrock. 62, I think, 62 levels of Zycraft soil beneath the melon and the reed there, so they're growing pretty quick. Each Zycraft soil increases the chance of the plant growing per tick. So I think 64 is maybe the max. I'm not 100% sure on that though, but I've stacked it right down to bedrock just so they grow pretty quick. So you can get a little. It's kind of compact, but it isn't because it goes right down to bedrock. So it's kind of pseudo compact. Right, and this side. Right, if each one of these we want it. let's just go with 2 by 3, so 5, 10, 15, 20. I want 20 of them then. Is that going to be enough? No chance. Let's make what we can then, for now. Okay, so the first things I'm going to do is place these. Now, I'm going to want one up here. Where's the best place for this? There's nowhere for anything to go. So, industrial information panel. Let's have one there. And let's have... yeah, this is quite tricky. Let's have one there, one there actually. And in these panel extenders, I'll go there and there. And what you see can happen here is these will join up. So you can see the thin lines there, they've joined, whereas them thick lines have not joined. If I was, for example, to take this one out and put another extender in there, then that's all one now. Do you get me? What we can do with these is put a lever on them. Should have got a lever out first because I did know we needed some. Let's just grab my stack of levers for now. Put the rest back later. And these things need a redstone signal on them. So see, that's turned on now, so they're all lit up. And knocking all on the wall, didn't mean to do that. Come here. Blocks. And put them back. So if I put another information panel there, you see that one's not turned on because I've not got a lever on that bit. So it's quite awkward to have levers on them. I'd like them to be inverted, these things. There we go, that's got a lever on that way. Really on our second UU mat, that's pretty cool. And these are all drained, which is bad. I need to turn that off. I should have turned that off a lot earlier. So what we're going to have now is we're going to have this situation where these aren't going to get power, because every time they try and do anything, insufficient energy line, that's going to try and pulse. That's going to try and pulse. That's going to try and pulse. So you see there, it's trying to work. So every little bit of energy it's getting, it's actually taking it all, which is bad news. What we need to do now. So that's the reason why it's you can't really rely on it. What I need to do is cut that line there. She's going to cut the power to everything there, and that'll actually give these a chance to get some power back. So we need to let it get a lot of power back. So I'm going to give these 10 minutes to fill up. And that's the reason why we want these. Until you've got enough power to actually run this, you can set it with some redstone logic, like red wiring and stuff. But I just want a visual indicator so I can see when things are getting low. So what I'm going to do now is make the second part of this, and for that we need a thing called a sensor. Now, the fuel sensors, energy sensor kit is the first one we're looking at. What's that? Paper, EU readers, and a frequency transmitter. Now, I made an EU reader. I didn't actually show you it. I made a couple of things that actually read power. Let's just have a look at that. I made a multimeter and an EU reader. What a multimeter does, just throw the bag on the floor there. What a multimeter does is, this is for redstone conduits. You can click on the redstone conduit, and it'll show you how much power something's got. So it looks like on the ones that are actually got a distribution there, it's showing that that machine there, when it's working, which looks like it's not now. You see what energy machines are requesting. Come on, show me. So network saturation means that line's full, and that's working away, so that should work on that. Let's have a look. Energy requested 6, so you can see that that squeeze there, that centrifuge, when it's working, it's pulling 6 MJ a tick. And if you monitor that, see that's putting just over 5 MJ a tick in there by the look of it. So I'm not sure why that's putting 5 and that says 6. But basically this multimeter is, you can read power for buildcraft machines. It works on the thermal expansion machines. So work on these. So let's change them to Valiant. that's all finished. There's not really to do in there at the minute, but basically it's just, this is a energy reader for Buildcraft stuff. If I click on the power on the cells there, it shows you what energy is getting requested from that cell. So at the minute that cell's just using 2 MJ a tick, not much at all. Well, that one. Whereas that one, 100 MJ a tick's getting used in that one. You see there, that one's working quite hard. Trying to keep that one full. No, it's using a bit less. 33 at the minute, 39. So you can use that multimeter to see that, and then the EU reader is pretty much the same thing, but for EUs, which makes sense, I guess. So if we look up here now, we'll see that because I've cut that line, all these will be nothing because the line up there is upstairs is cut. See, these are all nothing. But when it's running, like there, 40 in, 40 out, no gain. 56, 40. So that's something to do with the way that's sharing power going into them. 0. So you see these are filling up. And actually, better to show you that when that's actually running. That's an EU reader. Anyway, that's part of our thing for a sensor kit. We need a frequency transmitter, which is a circuit and a cable, and we need some paper. So that's pretty straightforward. So let's make some of them. I'm actually going to want 8 of them. I'll show you for why in a bit. But let's stop messing about. Put that stuff back, and let's make 8 of them. I'm kind of going on a bit of a tangent here, but I can go back. So these are EU readers. So we need 8 circuits there. We need so I need 16 circuits to start with. And we need plenty of cables. Let's grab a stack of cables. So the EU reader, was it 4 cables? And some glowstone. And we need more cable than that, I thought I had more cable than that. We've got a cable again already. Marvellous. Let's actually make some more of that then. I've not actually put a recipe in for this yet. I should have. I certainly should have. Plenty of rubber. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's make loads of them. And put most of them back in there. I should be making them automatically by now, to be honest. And let's get our circuits, which should have all been made by now. Oh, it's still making because there's no cables, of course. Well, let's get 8. We want 8 of them. I actually want, yeah, I want 8 still, because I actually want to keep that one that I've got. 8 of them, and then that can go back. There we go. I'll put this back into a stack. So they make frequency transmitters. 3, 4, 5. Run out of space. Let's get some paper. Let's throw a bit of paper up there for now. 8 paper. So paper in the bottom, frequency transmitter at the top, EU reader in the middle. Get us as a sensor kit. Now we want to make. So they don't stack, no, of course they don't. Lots of these. And what I'll do is I'll make 4 at a time so I've got some space. Right, what we can do with these. So I've made 4 energy sensor kits there. And what I'm going to do is, with these 4 sensor kits, I am going to click on these 4 MFSUs in turn. So I'm going to have that one, going to be number 1. And what you'll see happen is when I click on that, it's now turned into a sensor location card. So the clicking on something that is a valid thing to click on will turn your kit into a card. And I'll show you what we can do with these in just a second. So what we could do with these is we could put one of them cards in there. Oops, I'll give that the title E by mistake. And what that does there is shows you what it stores: energy, the amount of storage, the amount of free, and how the percentage fill of it. So you can see it's got 550k energy in there. It's got 9.5 million free. total storage is 10 million, and it's 5% full. So that was for that one, I believe. 552, yep. So that was for that one. What we can do though is, because we've got 4 MFS user here, put all them together in a crafting square, so you can have up to 9. It'll give you an energy array location card. So now we can put that in there instead. And what that does is going to be really messy because of the way we've laid it out. That's terrible. Can't have that like that, can I? What I'm going to have to do is, let's see, get rid of most of that. Each card info, no. Fill percentage, yes. I don't need to know what's free. Energy, don't need to know how much storage we've got. Energy in a summary. Let's try with that. Energy, fill percentage. That's total energy in all 4 of these. And let's put each card info on. That makes it too small again. But you see what I'm getting at. You can bugger it. Let's do this different. Let's do it different. Let's put that so it's a nice. There we go. So each separate card info. So each of these 3 I've got 740 odd in. Correct. That one there's got 550 in. Correct. Total. So percentage fill in each, and then percentage fill for the total there. So you can see your power like that. So there's your basic energy grid, and there's a few things we can put into it. We can put things in there called a range upgrade, and we can put a few things in there. We can put a color upgrade, or some other stuff. We'll upgrade founders these. I should actually filter by the mod. I should have actually told you what mod it is anyway. It's called Nuclear Control, the mod. And Nuclear Control, there it is. And it's not all this does, but it adds certain things like thermal monitors for nuclear reactors and stuff. But it also has all these location cards. There's also a Greg Tech one that I'm going to make in a minute that I'm not showing you, but let's look at some of the upgrades. One of them is a range upgrade. Now this will only work 8 blocks away from these. The reason why I wanted to make more than one is I'm going to put one of these downstairs, and that's going to need some range upgrades in it. Range upgrade is just frequency transmitter. Some of them cables. What else have we got? We've got reactor sensor, that's obviously for a nuclear reactor. Text card, you can write on stuff. A time card, I'll tell you the time, I believe. A clock and a circuit. Someone told me I should have made one of them instead of making a clock above the door, which I probably should have. I'll try one of them out as well. And then counter sensor location card. I believe that counts things that go past it. I'm not sure. I've never actually used a counter one. And there's a liquid one, there you go. Liquid sensor location card, you can use on liquid tanks. And there's also a Greg Tech one. Go back to sensor. There's Greg Tech sensor kit, there you go. Looks like you have to make that in the assembly machine. So I'll make one of them as well. So I'm going to make some of these off camera because they're a little bit fiddly and you don't have to watch all that. And I'll sort it out and I'll come back and we'll put them somewhere. And we'll be able to see how much power we've got from either up there or from down here. I'll put some down here as well. So back in a bit. Okay, I'm back and I've made all the bits I think we're going to need. Now, first of all, you can see I put 2 more panels down here, 4 and 2, like same as upstairs. In the 4, I put an energy array location, exactly the same. I've set it to the same, so that should be showing us the same as what's up there. But it isn't because, as you can see, it's got a big outer ring symbol on there. Now, these stack, so you can make them. I think each one maybe adds another 8 blocks on, so I'm not sure how many stack. If it's 64, you can see it'll add 512 blocks onto it. If it is 64, I'm not sure. Oh, pardon me. I'm not sure how many of them stack, but one of them in there, and look at that. One of them in there is enough. So now we can see what the MFSUs upstairs are all storing. So I'm going to put one of them in there as well. Now the next thing I'm going to put into these is these guys, colour upgrades. No, I should show you how I made that first actually, shouldn't I? Oops, keep typing in there, bloody thing. Range upgrade. There you go, range upgrade is just a transmitter with 2 cables. Then the colour upgrade is a cable with loads of different colours around it, loads of different dyes. So I made 4 of them. So what we can do with that now is, if we click on there, the colour upgrade goes in that slot there. And now there we've got a new tab there. Oh, that thing there, by the way, if you click that, it just takes away the headings. So the titles have gone, if you can, as you can see. Whereas that puts it back. as you can see. What the colour upgrade does, if you click on that T there now, we can change the screen colour or the text colour. I generally like to have orange text on a black screen, like so. But, there's loads of different colour combinations you can do. We could have white, well, grey screen, loads of different colours. That's a bit much, isn't it? Let's go with like a nice dark screen. Let's have some cyan rating. How does that look? A bit much. Okay, I'll stick with the standard that I normally go with. I normally go with black and orange. There we go. And I'm going to put one of them in there as well. Even though I've got no card in here yet, but we're going to get to that. And we can do the same in there, black, orange. There we go. And we can put them in the same upstairs as well. So I've got two for upstairs, which I suppose I can do now. Let's get them in there. Nice and quick like. Bosh. Of course these are nice and close. These don't need the range upgrades in. Black, orange. And black, orange. There we go. And of course I can put titles on these. So I can put EU. Energy, grid, for example. And now that'll say that across the top. Or I can call it poop or whatever. Right, the other things we're going to put into these little ones is this is a bit different. I've used this machine here and it's finished, but slow as arseholes, as this machine always is, we should have two GregTech sensor cards down in here. There they are. GregTech sensor kits attached to GregTech machines. So these are specialist ones for all the GregTech machines. So this is an add-on that Greg's added, and they don't stack, so I only grab one. There we go. So this is what Greg's added. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to click on the matter fabricator, and I'm going to click both of these onto there. Bosh and bosh. And what we can do with that now is that can go in there, and what's going on? It's not showing us any information at all. Now I thought that it's not because it's on 0%, is it? Let's just get to 1% on there. It's got to 1%. Oh, big letter E. I've not used a Greg one before, as you can possibly tell. Progress. Okay. Progress 2%. Okay, excellent. So that's... Let's get rid of the titles for this one. No. So that's 2% towards our next UU matter, for example. So let's put the titles back. Okay, so that one, it seems that the primary is just a title, progress, by the look of it. The secondary is the percentage, and the tertiary is the energy amount that's stored up in there. So as you can see, and that's all in 1 million EU in there. So that's quite cool. Actually don't particularly like most of the things it's showing though. I'll also put secondary on. Nice big 2% there. So we can see that we're 2% towards our next UU matter there, using the GregTech sensor card. So we can go down the same down here, but before we do that, there's a couple of other things I want to show you before we finish up. So we can of course have the same thing in there, and there we go. That's showing the same thing. So we can see how far we are to our next UU matter. Which is pretty cool, I think. Not bad, not bad. Another thing we can do is we can put a text card in there. Now a text card, you get this other thing here, and you get loads of text you can write. If you watch my Let's Play, I use this as my to-do board. So now look there, and it's got plenty of writing there. You can have it so you've got a whole lot of stuff written in there, which is also pretty cool. Let's take that out for now. If that remembers what's been on it, it does actually remember. That's quite cool as well. So the text card, you can take it out and it'll remember what was on it. Let's just delete all that shit off there. Come on, hurry up. Got to press the buttons all separate on that, which is a bit irritating. And a couple of other things we can show. Liquid sensor card. I've not used one of these before, so I'm not sure if this will work. Let's just... There we go. I just clicked on that tank there. And... Liquid sensor card. There we go. Name biofuel. Shows how much you've got in there, so you can use that on your railcraft tanks. I think anything that contains liquid should do that, so that should work on aircraft tanks and stuff as well. So that's also pretty cool. And last one, we're going to nick the clock off there and combine a clock with that. Gets us a thing called a time card. Put a time card in there. There we go. It's showing us the Minecraft time. So it's 10 o'clock at night Minecraft time. Also pretty cool. I might actually add another panel up there and have the time up there as well. So as you can see, you can build up a nice big grid of different information, and really useful. So I can see from down here, I can see, for example, I could look and say, oh, I'm at 90%. I can turn my matter fabricator back on for a bit, or what have you. I want to keep that time. I quite like that. Awesome. I'm going to make another one of there for the percentage of the matter fabricator, I think. And the only thing I don't like about these is that they need to be turned on with a redstone signal. I'd like that to be a bit tidier than having levers everywhere, but it's not a big deal. Right, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope it was entertaining, and as always, I hope it was enjoyable to watch, and I hope I possibly taught you something anyone too boring. We've got matter fabricator, we've got UU matter on the go, so next episode, if we get a next episode, I say I'm still waiting for 1.5. If we get a next episode, I'll be using them 2 bits of UU matter to make some scenarium, and we'll upgrade one of these solar panels. So hopefully I'll see you then. Cheers. Bye.